guys, it's your boy JoshDaRealest, and I'm back with another reaction. But this time to something very special to me. I'm reacting to a song called The Sound of Silence, which was originally released in 1964 by the legendary Simon and Garfunkel. This song was a huge hit and had a very, very strong meaning, and is one of my mum's favourite songs due to the smooth tone and the strong lyrics. However, today I'm going to react to a cover of The Sound of Silence by an American band called Disturbed. I've never heard of Disturbed, don't know who they are or what they're about. However, the song The Sound of Silence will forever hold its place in this world as a classic. And back in 1964, the meaning of the song was so relevant during that era, but in our present time, 2019, it's even more relevant. So I must hear this version. Also guys, if you're feeling generous and you want to further help the channel, if you fancy donating, my link to my PayPal is in my description. Let's go.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
First of all, yeah, I don't know who that is or who Disturbed are, but his voice is incredible. It has sort of like a haunting tone to it. Hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains in the sound of silence. It seems to me that the narrator of the song is having a recurring dream that's so dark, yet it won't leave his mind, because he's saying it's left seeds in his brain while he was sleeping, and he's also referring to it as an old friend, as he keeps recurring. Darkness is 24/7. It keeps happening, this vision that's in his mind. And this vision that he's foreseeing still remains when he's awake, but is drowned out by the sound of silence. That's crazy, because silence is so powerful and so deafening, yet you can't hear a thing.
In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stared by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence.
His voice is incredible. Who is this man? No, seriously, who is he? The original song of this is amazing, by Simon and Garfunkel. The melody, the dual sound of the both singing at the same time throughout the whole song. But then to sing this years later so perfectly by yourself and be able to capture the lyrics so perfectly, you can't do nothing but listen. And his voice is haunting, it's controlling, it's downright perfection. If you listen carefully, the message is so strong. The narrator of the song is having a dream or a vision, and in this vision he's absolutely isolated, alienated and alone. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, beneath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, but then my eyes were stabbed by a flash of neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. In other words, the narrator had a vision of where society was heading. You know, separation, alienation, isolation, loneliness, not helping each other, ignoring each other. In this dream, he was alone, walking down a narrow street of just cobblestone, standing under a street lamp, turning his colour to the cold and damp. He was used to turning away from the good and aiming towards the bad, because that's what society is, and that's how we're trained to be. Look after yourself and nobody else, and it's not good. In the 1960s, Simon and Garfunkel could probably foresee the future, and this is where society is headed. So it was like a warning to people, as in, you know, get close to each other, man, and cherish each other, love each other. Stop turning away from people's problems and help. That's the problem in this world, no one fucking helps. They'd rather see you crumble, as long as they're alright. Turn a blind eye to darkness. But then the narrator awoke, feeling like he'd been stabbed in his eyes by a flash of a neon light, as he's woke up from this dream of loneliness and desolation, to then see the real world for what it actually is. Tens of thousands of people, or maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without actually listening. People writing songs that are never shared. But no one dare disturb the sound of silence. You got so many people that pretend to hear you, but don't actually listen. So many people talking which don't even mean anything, because they don't stop to think of how someone else would feel. It's about communication and separation of where the world was heading towards. That's crazy.
And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fools say that you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made.
Right, hands down, the greatest live performance I've ever heard in my life. Due to the message behind it is why it hits #1 for me. I don't know who this guy is, never heard of Disturbed, but did you hear the aggression when he said,
People bowed and prayed to the neon god they made.
did you hear that? That's incredible. Who is this guy? In the year 2019, again, people follow the TVs and the actors and they think that's the way of living and that's the way to live your life and that's what I want to be. Actors and these false gods are just actors. They're powerless. They're hollow. There's nothing inside of them. They're not real. They're merely a ghost through our eyes because we can see them, but that's not how we should act or how we should feel. Follow your heart and do the right thing, man. Become closer. The narrator just called everyone a fool, whether it was from the 1960s, the original version, or whether it's 2019, the majority of the human race are fools. Don't you understand that silence grows like cancer? So hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. Grab my hand, man. Hear what I'm trying to say. Because if you carry on like this, we're going to continue living a hollow life and be forever miserable. Because it grows like cancer. When one person is silent, the second person is silent, the third person is silent. There we created a world of absolute pathetic souls not helping each other. But then the narrator realized that his words fell like raindrops into a well. As in you'll never hear it. Because no one dared disturb the sound of silence. No one dared to step up and say, this is how, life should be. No, it went towards technology. Think of that right now. People are texting, Facebook, Twitter, status, messaging. There's no more face-to-face interaction. It's crazy. You can't hear raindrops hit the ground. It's silent. So him telling everybody it's a waste of his time. The world's broken. The world's been destroyed by greedy people. And we're destroying ourselves, staying away from each other, turning a blind eye to absolute desolation. And letting everyone suffer because nobody wants to help. And they turn a blind eye to silence.
People bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign lashed out its warning. And the word the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, whispered in the sound of silence.
In 1964, the original was like a warning. This is now anger. Like, are you gonna listen, or are you just gonna let the world destroy itself? That's why this guy is amazing, and that's why his contrast of his voice, he increased the tempo when he screamed down that microphone to express anger in this world. And people bowed and prayed to the neon god that we made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the signs said the words of the prophets are written on subway walls and tenement halls and whispered in the sound of silence. There's warnings in religious books, there's warnings in songs of where the world is going and that we should love each other and cherish each other. But the whispered in the sound of silence, as in it gets drowned out, because there's so much damn noise in this world that it gets drowned out by silence. Everyone's busy talking, this is the right way to live, this is what you should do, this is how you should act. But realistically, for years and years and years, in different religious prophecies, it's been saying the same thing. Love, respect, and honor each other, man. Bring each other closer, but it gets ignored, regardless. It doesn't matter how many songs are going to be sung, how many religious writings have explained the true meaning of living, of life. Hundreds of people listen to it, thousands of people read it, but very, very, very few follow it. And it's forever, forever growing like cancer, and it's going to get worse. And that's why this song will remain a classic until the end of mankind. Because we're going to self-destruct. And it's insane. Don't let the sounds of silence win. It's been your boy Josh the Realist. Pow.
Tell your friends, cause I'm pulling up. Pull up, I get what I want. I need a million ones. I need a couple of states to put all the haters back into their place. Now bringing the bass. Hey, ready for the big league. Never gonna miss me when I'm on the TV. I'm the MVP whenever they hear me kill it.